Welcome to our multimedia presentation on applications of Second Life for math, more specifically for geometry applications for high school students. Here is an example of our group meetings in Second Life. We created a note card so that classmates could follow our guided tour. It is important to have researched evidence to support Second Life as an educational environment. Our team found various resources and developed a learning scenario that we will share. Several animated picture slides and videos documenting our experiences will be provided. A research overview will also be presented.
I am Christy Cosina, and I think Second Life has tremendous educational potential, and it is already pushing the boundaries of alternative learning. Students can step into worlds they have only previously dreamed of and interact with their environment while collaborating with their peers. They could design and develop group projects that may better illustrate their ideas in standard presentation materials. 3D virtual environments could very well be the way of the future, but it is up to educators and instructional designers to create an environment that will best help their students learn.
The Exploratorium is filled with vast opportunities for educational purposes, from exhibits to the creation and thorough explanation of the pi formula. A mathematical and scientific concept is vivid throughout this island for everyone to explore and learn what sometimes can't be experienced in real life. This virtual world learning system can be compared to the gaming method, which can be applied to educational fields. It can be often in games, but if you can see this pie chart, it displays not only the images but also the text. This can apply to one of the many multimedia principles using a 3D virtual environment such as Second Life. In this walkthrough, it is noticeable how the pi symbol and the information stands out. The Exploratorium is filled with these informational concepts which let the learners put to work their high retention memory by lowering their cognitive learning load. As the Exploratorium is filled with these learning concepts and methodologies, there are many islands such as this one that can be used to benefit towards the educational purposes. As you can see also, there are many exhibits where text is present, but if you click on the informational link, you can get more into-depth information about what that exhibit is all about. And also, this will help in the creation or the exploration of students that can learn using these multimedia principles. The mathematical concept of pi in this island can be used to create many learning activities that can help students learn the pi symbol, the methodology behind the pi, and even apply the pi concept in doing learning activities.
Hi everyone, this is Ricky. I hadn't had the opportunity to explore this type of learning tool prior to this semester, so definitely it was a great outcome using Second Life. Creating my avatar was definitely a challenge again, since I had never had the opportunity to explore this software before, so it was definitely a challenge. But as we continue working and exploring Second Life, I was getting a little bit more comfortable. One of the features that I really enjoyed through Second Life was the capability of teleporting from one location to another, so I thought that was pretty cool. And I think, especially, having been able to, to fly and run and swim and go to space and even go to the moon as we did in our field trip. So I thought that was really neat as well.
When educational tools are new to educators, it is sometimes helpful to have demonstrations to show what those tools are capable of doing. The following is a possible learning scenario that mathematics and geometry educators can do with students while in Second Life. This scenario also mentions a real-life activity that the Second Life activity mimics. If educators want to supplement or even replace real-life learning activities with simulated ones in Second Life, the following scenario hints at how an educator can make that happen. Ben attended a geometry class field trip to the meteor crater in Arizona. While on his field trip, the teacher gave Ben and his fellow students a clipboard, a worksheet, and a pencil. This worksheet asked the student to find the circumference, area, and volume of the meteor crater. The class walked around the outer circle of the crater and found the circumference by counting their steps. Since Ben cannot technically walk across the meteor crater in a straight line to find the radius, he uses the circumference formula of a circle. Then he divides by 2. He then divides by pi, or roughly 3.14159, to get the radius. Ben uses this radius to find the answers to the area and volume of the crater, which is a hemisphere. He then turns in his worksheet to the teacher. Ben's friend and classmate Arna couldn't make it to the field trip, yet her instructor still required her to complete this assignment. The alternate location to complete this assignment is on the 3D virtual environment Second Life at Exploratorium Island's Mars site. Arna downloads the Second Life viewer and creates an avatar that somewhat resembles herself. She finds and explores the Mars site. Her teacher's aide is there too and gives Arna a Second Life note card with some geometry activities to complete. She remembers that her teacher had emailed her a Microsoft Word copy of the worksheet that the other students are using during their field trip to a real meteor crater. Arna opens and reads the Second Life geometry activity note card shown to the left. She sees that this note card has instructions, questions, and worked out solutions. Arna wants to fully understand realistic geometry applications, so she follows the directions to create the Mars crater. While watching the meteor impact proceed, she is awe-inspired by the possibility of doing geometry on Mars. Once the impact crater is made, Arna walks across the giant hemisphere hole and counts her steps to find the diameter. She follows the instructions, finds the circumference, area, and volume of this Mars crater, while writing down her own worked-out problems and answers on the worksheet given by her instructor. Arna notices that her answers are slightly different than the worked-out solutions, but she realizes that this is most likely due to the difference in her avatar's walking stride length. She correctly assumes that each avatar's stride is roughly different, like humans in real life. Since her answers are close, she is satisfied that she is correct and emails her teacher the completed document.
Second Life is a 3D virtual world that is filled with great educational opportunities. The technology era of using gaming for education is advancing at a fast pace. And now that much of the technology is available to the students and teachers, we can use it to instruct learners using a 3D virtual world. From activities to assignments, virtual field trips, and even demonstrations that defy what can be done in real life. It is another tool to keep in mind towards the learning engagement that will help students advance in many different ways using technology and 3D virtual worlds such as Second Life.
Second Life is a good tool for education because it allows for seamless interaction with your peers and allows for more interactive learning environments. It allows for users to take part in simulated real-world experiences and bend the laws of reality to allow us to experience things we normally could not.
In our collaborative project, we found evidence that supports using Second Life for educational purposes. Our Wiki Report research overview shows how cognitive learning principles of multimedia incorporated within Second Life help students learn. We found that Second Life integrates such principles as the multimedia principle, the spatial contiguity principle, and the personalization principle. We listed the benefits and challenges of using Second Life as an educational tool. We presented several educational resources that other educators can use for their virtual lessons. We even created a learning scenario for teachers that need an idea on how to incorporate Second Life into specific learning objectives. Our Wiki Report documents our team experiences, which may help educators navigate some of the challenges and beneficial parts of Second Life. We also documented our team meetings and field trip as an animated photo essay to help educators see how we conducted virtual meetings and class sessions. This multimedia video is linked in the Wiki Report and summarizes our efforts in an audiovisual capacity. Collectively, we see Second Life's promise in the educational technology industry, which is continually improving and positively redefining how students learn. Thank you for joining us in learning about our findings toward the educational value of 3D virtual environments such as Second Life.